skin does not matter. Race does not matter. We are all human.
I have interracial nieces and nephews. I have my nieces black and white. I have 2 of them that are black and white. I get that part, but I just don't feel like we really should be mixing like that.
Oh, shit.
I've heard that before.
I'm just keeping it up, bro.
Can I hear your version of that? I can take your...
Let me go to
I disagree. I just gotta say that.
Look, keep it in mind, the Keep in Mind podcast. Keep it in mind, the Keep in Mind podcast. Keep it in mind, the Keep in Mind podcast. Yeah, you better keep it in mind. Let me introduce you to the crew. You got my boy Black, always dressing something new. You got my boy Jerry, but you better call him Jay. And you got Air Max Rich and Air Max Kicks. What's the topic of the day? What they gon' ask? You gon' find out when the camera go flash.
Something that happened to me at work where one of my coworkers was telling me like she tried to hook up a guy or vice versa. I can't remember which way it was, but she was trying to hook up somebody with somebody of the opposite race. You know what I mean? Like she had like a black dude that she knew that she was trying to hook up with a white girl, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good." And she was like, "Isn't that like reverse racism? Because you don't know nothing about her, and you're just saying no because she's white." Now, would you guys say that's reverse racism?
So let me speak on it.
All right.
So I believe, and this is black and white, and we can make the argument for other things, but in terms of black and white, if you are serious about relationships and, you know, being with someone for the rest of your life, I feel like you have an obligation and you should be excited to repopulate the earth and spend the rest of your life with someone that shares your
everything.
Similar interests, similar goals.
I agree. Yeah.
Not only is it culture, goals, all those things should be.
So if they're but what if somebody of the opposite race has all those things? They share the same.
No, the race matters. Wholeheartedly matters. Yes.
To you.
To me, yes.
Okay,
to me.
and that's fine.
This is to me.
Okay.
It matters.
To me too.
To you
Same
too.
thing.
How about you? If you were married to Hedy.
No, culture is definitely a very important aspect. I mean, I remember we had an earlier episode where we talked about like some of the 5 things that we absolutely must have in our relationships, and we mentioned a whole bunch of things that relate to our culture. The cooking our foods, our favorite foods, and we were just like, that's what we explained. We said to ourselves, listen, there's not really much. We don't see much of a future with someone who doesn't really share a lot of the same values and a lot of the same, and don't come from the.
Your wife's Haitian?
And my wife's Haitian, absolutely.
I was say Shelly.
And my wife is very Haitian, and you know, and before I was on some like I would date, you know, it was like that, but then I was like, if you can't cook some ziti jonjon, it's not happening, bro. If you can't make some mean ziti jonjon, it's not happening.
Taya 31 said, how can something be a preference if you never experienced she said them, but she means how can something be a preference if you never experienced the other thing?
Well, that's the thing. I have. I haven't. I didn't necessarily date a person of the opposite sex, but I've been involved with other races of women, and you get to find out
a lot.
You know, a lot, especially when it comes to pillow talk. You get to find out a lot, and so it's just like, you know, when it came down to like other races, for the most part, it was kind of a thrill ride for them, you know, for it to be with someone like me. It was like, I'm with a black guy. I'm with a black guy, you know. It wasn't really anything like I want to know what, you know, like you went through as a kid, you know, and how I was never allowed to play booty tag because I was too dark. You know, we don't talk about those, but we're gonna talk about, you know what I mean, the fact that I'm this tall big black man now, and you like that right now, and that's the hot thing.
I was literally told that by a white girl before, like, I want to be with a black guy. That's why I'm saying.
That's it. Yeah. And you just happen to be.
You can swing them.
And I was just happy to be the one that
right
was
hue of
at
penis.
the time.
That's right.
I've been literally told that.
Matter of fact, I want your opinion.
Sure.
Would you date the opposite? Because I feel like, and I want to get back to everybody else after you answer. But would you date outside of your race?
So, I've like gone on dates with outside my race, and you know, talked to them, kind of know them for like maybe more than 2 months, and we couldn't really relate, and a little bit of stalkerism, but for Japan people, Japanese, I said Japanese people, sorry. Please, this is not Donald Trump here, but yeah. But I got to date a couple different races, and I realized that I realize now I want to be with a black man, and I'm not saying that because I don't want to, like, I don't have anything against any other races, but I feel like it. Oh yeah. I feel like it meshes better for me. It works better for me. That's why I choose to date within my race.
Burgundy
You
Poet
don't
says
have to look at the
there
camera. I
are
was just telling you the camera.
Oh, because
is
you
over
just
there.
like that.
Oh no,
Burgundy Poet says
Cause if you see me look away, it's because I'm like you talking to everybody, not just me.
Oh, okay.
Burgundy Poet says there are interracial couples out there, and they also said skin does not matter, race does not matter. We are all human.
I have
All right.
I have interracial nieces and nephews. I have my nieces black and white. I have two of them that are black and white. I get that part, but I just don't feel like we really should be mixing like that.
Oh,
Sorry,
shit.
I've heard that before.
I'm
I
just
want to
keeping
hear
it
more.
100, bro.
Can I hear your
That-
reason of that?
that-
Because
yo!
I can take your.
Let me go to.
I disagree. I just gotta say that. I can't.
Yeah, I was
That's
looking
okay.
at Hold on. I'm gonna go. Let me go to the comments real quick.
Can I just say one thing? 2 seconds. I want to hear your view because I just met with my friend's grandmother who is 86 who said the same thing, and she gave me a description of why she feels like. I would like somebody who's like near my age. Why do they feel like that?
My honest opinion, because like I said, I do have two mixed nieces.
That situation. You talking about?
Huh?
Let me shut up.
They're biracial. They're white and black. My nieces have white. I have two nieces that have white mother. I have a white mother.
Okay.
And I feel like their interaction with us is very different because they're culturally biased to
The white
that side. So when they come around, it's a little bit like you still try to be you still try to be like, you still try to love them in the same way, but it's just I don't know, it's just a difference, bro. It's just really just and it's just
I'll
culturally.
tell you what she said after. After I'll tell you what she said.
You can say it right now. Go
Oh,
ahead.
actually, what she said to me, words verbatim, it don't look right. We went through a whole lot, and I don't like the way it looks. And I honestly, it's because of the trauma.
I'm not mad at that
it's a trauma.
either. I'm
Okay,
not
okay,
mad at
She
that
lives in
either.
a different
listen.
time. It's
I'm
because of
not
the
mad
trauma.
at that either.
Listen,
You can't be mad.
Yo, listen,
you know?
and I feel as though I reacted the way I did react. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I won't say something like that on camera because, but like I personally feel like I don't agree that they shouldn't be mixing. You can do whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? Me personally, I kind of feel the same way. You know what I mean? I kind of feel the same way. But at the same time, and which is why I want to get back to everybody. I feel like we're more okay with mixing with Spanish people who are almost just as racist as white people sometimes. But we're more okay with it because culturally they're more similar to us, and that's why I feel like it's a cultural thing,
But
not a
they're black
reverse
too.
racism
They're
thing.
black too, though.
That's
They just
the
don't know.
thing.
They don't
They
know
wanna
it.
admit
That's
it,
the thing.
but they're
That's
black
the thing.
too.
I'm fully aware of that. I'm fully aware of that.
Ali B said it is different. My dad's side of the family treats me totally different. It's a real. It's like it's
See,
it's
a real
culture,
thing.
bro. That's
It's a real thing. It's a real
But
thing.
let me ask
And
you this.
I'm
tell you
glad-
that.
we're
me ask
actually
you
gonna have
this.
an interracial couple on the show to let you guys know. Yeah,
Let's
we're gonna do that.
Sam has something to say.
So these people, right, that are treating people that are different than them differently, like you said somebody treats somebody different,
they're like when they come around,
like the white side of the family.
Because they're raised with the white
they're
mom.
raised on that side, right? So when they come around us, it's like a little like. Well,
Distance.
I love family. I'm a big family person. So my family, like when they come around, we're all like
The volume might
hugging,
even just be
and
too
they're
much.
like, yeah.
The volume
So
might
my
even
thing is,
just
so
Real
is
talk.
really be too much.
Is
Real
this
talk.
because of the color of their skin or just
Culture.
their level of
Culture.
maturity?
Their
Culture.
culture.
No, it's who they're raised by. They're raised by their
Right.
white.
No,
their
no,
white
no. I'm
mom.
saying, like,
Yeah.
if you find somebody, right, no matter what color they are, if they're mature, if they're intelligent, if they're loving, are they going to treat you differently?
You never know till you're in that situation
No, I'm
where it
saying,
comes
no,
down
like-
to race. It comes down to that.
Well, if you find somebody that's white,
But you'll never
and
know
they're-
until that situation. I don't want to be there.
if you find somebody that's white and they're very loving and they're very intelligent and they're very mature, do you think they're going to treat you differently because you're black?
Yes, when it comes to that situation. If there's a cop stopping, if I'm treated a certain way and you're overreacting, it's when those situations happen that you find out.
But
Now,
wait,
what I-
but
now,
all
what-
that sounds
what
like
I'm saying-
all that sounds
what
like
I'm saying-
outside factors, not
What I'm
not
saying,
who
if
you
you
mentioned.
find a
Those
person,
matter, though.
if you find a person who's white or Indian or whatever race that we typically try to stereotype these people into being racist as, whatever race they are, if they're loving, if they're mature, if they're intelligent, if they're understanding, they're not. I don't believe that they're going to treat you any differently. I believe that they're going to be loving towards you because they are loving. I believe that people that treat you differently because of the way you look and your differences, these are people that are ignorant and they don't know any better and they're not that mature.
100%.
Because I'm black, right? Like I'm black, and I'll see anybody of that might be different from me, and I will make it a point to be loving to this person and be understanding of this person, not because of the color of my skin, but because of what's in my head and in my heart. So I don't think it's a color thing. As a matter of fact, I know it's not a color thing. It's all up in here, and it's in here.